Chris Landry talking SEC football and, of course, National College Football. Tuesday edition of the program as we start a day late this week due to the holiday. LandryFootball.com, Landry Football on X. All right, Steve Sarkisian, nothing but high praise about joining the SEC. And I'm paraphrasing here, talking about realignment, also talking about gaining. He doesn't say one rival, Chris. He says two. He says, hey, we get Texas A&M, but we also get Arkansas. For those that are not old enough to remember, Chris, that Texas-Arkansas rivalry way back when was pretty big, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, you go through the greatest games in history, and, man, there are many. And over my years, and you know, you can relate to this somewhat. I'm probably a little older, but there have been a lot of games over the past 30 years that have become big and big. But, you know, 1969, Texas, Arkansas, you know, for people who don't know, the president flew in and watched it. Now, you know, President Nixon was a big football fan. But, yeah, that was as big as can be. I don't know that I could put anything, you know, in the past 20 years that was huge. They changed the date of the game for TV because it was just that huge. Oh, yeah. And Arkansas was the sore thumb in the Southwest Conference. All the schools in the Southwest Conference were in Texas, except Arkansas. And, you know, you had Darrell Roy and Frank Broyles. So, yeah, but even when they played it in recent times, it's had a special tone to it. And that's a little bit of a dig for Texas, too. They like to talk about how, all right, you know, kind of like Alabama talks about Tennessee. And Bear Bryant always said Tennessee was the biggest rival, not Auburn, because he wouldn't want to give Auburn enough respect to say they were the biggest rival. This is Texas's version of saying, yeah, a little brother there, A&M, is big, but, you know, Arkansas is pretty big, too. I think that's the way of saying that without saying it.
Dude, I'm laughing because isn't that the way we do this, though, Chris? I mean, if you asked – now, I don't know that you're going to get that out of, you know, Lane Kiffin and Jeff Lebby, but, I mean, there was a day where, you know, Dan Mullen wouldn't reference Ole Miss as Ole Miss. I mean, we've seen this across rivalries. Coaches tend to do that, don't they?
They do. They do. I mean, the whole, you know, that the school up north and, you know, and all that stuff is, you know, it is comical. And it is funny, you know. They become, you know, like fans, you know, in that sense. They tend to talk and react like fans do. I think it is comical.